Yeah! What's going on, everybody? It's Monkey Farm, and we are back with another episode of Scrap Mechanic, and today's episode is near and dear to my heart. We are going to make a music sequencer. If you don't know what that is, basically it's like a pattern-oriented music looping machine. So basically we're going to make music loops, and we're going to do that here in Scrap Mechanic because we've got these new blocks called tote blocks, and they make music noises, and then we can do stuff with them. So the reason this is so near and dear to my heart, obviously, is because you may not know, I have an app in the App Store, the iOS App Store, called Quake DJ, and it basically does this. It makes music loops, and then it makes a little light show for them so you can share the video on Instagram and stuff. So check it out. I'll put a link in the description for you. By the way, before you ask or before you complain, it is not free. I'm sorry. It used to be free, but what I decided to do is charge a small price and unlock like $5 or $10 worth of stuff in it. So you can't complain about tons of stuff that costs less than it would have had to cost if you paid for it before. Anyway, it's a lot better, so check it out if you want to. No pressure. We're going to do it in here in Scrap Mechanic. So let me show you the beat I've made so far. Just a cool little beat. It's pretty tight. It's slow. It's chill, you know. Got a little glitchy noise at the end. You gotta add a little glitchy stuff. Make it good. So we've got other noises here as well. Like the blue note block is kind of like a bass. And we've got a red block, which I'm not really sure what it is. It's kind of like an air horn kind of keyboard sound. This green one is more like a robot, like a cosmic synthesizer type of thing. And anyway, I'm going to show you how to build a sequencer or a loop kind of machine, how to do the loop thing. All right, let's take a look at this thing on the inside. I changed some of the colors so you can see things a little bit better. But basically what we have, let's turn on the controller thing. Sorry about all this mess. But if you look way down there, that orange thing, that is a bearing in the ground. And we have this pole sticking up straight up into the sky out of that pole. And basically that thing is hooked up to an electric engine, so this whole thing is just going to spin around, right? And then we have 16 different walls attached to these things, and each of these kind of things connecting the walls are rotated like 12 degrees each, and that'll get you as close to 360 degrees as you can get, I guess. All right, then what we did is built the sensor wall over here just far enough away. We could build it closer if we wanted to change all the sensor distances, but we left it default at 10 so that if any of these blocks are placed here, they will be close enough to activate the sensor. See how this one is the only one activated? So there you go. And by the way, if you're going to build this, shut the sound off. Those things will go crazy with noise and you'll wonder what the heck is wrong, and that's what is wrong. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to add a little bass line to this beat. And as you can see, we just got the beat, and I'm going to add it to this one because I know I'm really only going to use like 4 different notes for the bass line, so it'll be really easy to do. Why don't I attach all these up real quick? And I haven't changed the notes or turned on the spots in the sequencer where these things are going to activate the note blocks, but we're going to have to shut this off to do that. So why don't we, let's see, where's number 1? Okay, here's the beginning. So that first sensor is the 5th one up, so we want to go 1 2 3 4 5. Why don't we go, what was that? Let's see. And then let's change the note on the 3rd one, the third 4. And then let's do something like this. I have an idea how this is going to sound already, so if it doesn't make sense, don't worry. So we only have 3 different notes, I think. Now what notes do we want to play? That's way too high. We want a bass line. Let's just go way down to the bottom. And let's change the note. Let's see. Yeah, that sounds good. What did we do? And that one we're going to leave off because we're not connecting to anything, right? We'll just unplug it or whatever. We unplug you. There we go. You're unplugged. It sounds a little flat, kind of. Those notes sound a little off to me, but maybe it's because they're so low. There, how's that sound? Pretty sweet, I must say. All right, so what I'm going to show you is how to make this one, which is a full bar. It's basically, you know, 16 ticks, little notes that you can play. What you need to do is put a bearing in the ground and a pole sticking up. You want to have at least like 8 blocks. If you want to have 8 sensors, if you only want 4, you can make it shorter. But if you want to do it like this one, that has 8 sensors, I'm going to build mine off the ground a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just measuring the height right now. Is what I'm doing. Okay, so this is not relevant anymore. Now out of here, out of the center, you need to build out 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the sides of those, you want to make it like a little T shape. Okay. I hope I did that right. I hope I know how to count as high up to 8. Yep, I do. All right, so hopefully I measured everything correctly to 8. And then what you're gonna have to do is I'm gonna make the circular part for each of the 4 quadrants of the circle. You could build it all the way around, but the weight of the blocks will actually make it start sagging. So I want to keep everything as symmetrical as possible. Which is why I'm doing it this way. You can, you know, do it a different way, but, you know, it's totally up to you, I guess. The reason I'm building it this big and not just having each of the 16 quadrants be one block wide, you could make like this circle a lot smaller, is because these blocks will start connecting to the sensors. If they're not spread apart far enough, the sensor will look at these all as one continuous block. And in other words, like you wouldn't hear the repeated ticking noise, you'd just hear one solid tick, and it would never really know that there were 16 that you wanted to play. So you have to make it, you know, so that the sensors can pick up each individual block. That's why I'm making it this big, you know, just to make things easy on you. This top thing is just to connect to the next piece. So each quadrant is going to have 6 bearings. So 1, 2, 3. That's the third one. So 1, 2, 3. So we're going to build one more, and then we're going to do that for all 4 of these quadrants of the circle. Okay, and all right, so that is the last one. Then what you want to do, grab a controller and slap it on. I would recommend putting the controller next to the area of the circle that you're actually wanting to control. That will make things easiest for you, I think. And the other thing you're going to have to do is change the direction of all of the odd numbers here. So make sure they're rotating the correct direction. And then you need to hold down Shift. If you want this thing to do anything other than 15 degrees per move, you need to hold down Shift and then drag. So I'm going to change all these to 12. And what will happen is a little fourth of the circle is going to magically appear. It's going to be like super magical. All right, are you ready for it? And you can slow this down if you want to make sure everything's not crazy. And look, our circle almost like magically formed. All right, now what we need to do is set up the sensor wall. And as I said, you don't have to do this, but I left them at default, so they're 10 blocks away. So basically, you're going to want to have the sensor 10 blocks away from this thing to activate. Now, when this thing is not on, this will be 11 blocks away, and it won't activate it, right? So let's do this. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 should be right here, if I know how to count to 11. And if we put a sensor right there, it should be activated. Now, if I take this away, the sensor should turn off. Excellent. All right, and don't forget, turn the sound off. All right, now we don't hear the sound. Awesome. All right, so now you have to decide how many notes you want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've done 8 here. So put a sensor on all those. Oh, that was me standing in front of these, activating it. Okay, and now we have 8 sensors. Now, like I said, you could build this taller if you want, and it should work fine. Now, if you did build it a little crooked or something is off, it's like, it's like a little, something is off. You may want to do every other block. That way, it'll be, your sensors won't be accidentally activated by a block, say here, that might be a little off center and somehow it gets picked up by, say, that sensor. You know what I mean? So it's up to you. If you build it wrong or something's wrong, like you probably, can get away without rebuilding the whole thing from scratch. Just spread your sensors out a little bit and it should kind of fix it. But we're pretty confident in how we built ours. So let's actually test it out. So we've got that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So looks pretty accurate to me. Okay, I figured we'd make a brand new beat for this one. Why don't we, I haven't hooked this one up. I have hooked up the sensors to a bunch of these yellow ones, which is, like the different drum noises. So why don't I just move this connection over here real quick. By the way, I will show you the electric engine. The reason it's over here is because it's so noisy. I had it on the 3rd line from the bottom for that first drum beat that I played for you. I want to speed this up a bit. Can I do like a partial? Nope. Okay, so I guess we're going to have to speed it up to the 4th. This one might be a little too fast. It might pick up, it might combine some of the drum beats or whatever, but we'll see. So let's see. These are the sounds that I've chosen. That one, let's see, that one, and this snare, and that noise. So let's see. Why don't we do 2 bass drums down at the bottom. Oh wait, that's the hi-hat. 2 bass drums down here. Okay, that'll be the bass. I'm kind of picturing how this sounds in my head, so bear with me for a sec. Okay, let's see. And now we need, what other noise do we need? We need the snare. So that's the 3rd one up. Let's see. Okay, and then the 4th one up was just the sound effect kind of thing. Why don't we put that on the very last one, just at the end, and see how it sounds? All right, here goes. Did we connect it? Yep, everything should be ready. Sounds a little weird. All right, I'm going to disconnect that one. It's really loud and obnoxious. Alright, we can mess around with these. Let's see. Wait, is that our hi-hat noise? Oh, it is. Alright, we're getting more noise. We're getting a lot more noise since we sped it up. So why don't we slow it down again? I think the thing's working a little too hard or something, because yeah. There we go. We can't hear all that extra noise. It's much more quiet now that it's slowed down a little bit, but our drum beat sounds too slow. We could put things closer together, but hey, you know, it still works, right? I liked it better, a little bit sped up. Ah, things are bumping into me. All right, let's turn this one on. All right. So we've got our trap beat, and then I don't know what this thing was. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. I hope you guys like the sequencer. Once again, check out my Quake DJ app if you like this kind of stuff. And then that's going to be it for today. So thumb it up and make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you all later.